Alright, we're going to start doing this rebuild on this 326. We're not rebuilding the engine, we were just freshening it up. There was really nothing wrong with it. I just, you got 50-year-old freeze plugs, and, don't know what the story was on it. Could have had a blown head gasket. I mean, you never know. So we tore it down, going to freshen it up. It's getting a new oil pump, new timing chain, all the freeze plugs changed, rehung the cylinders, the rings look fine, so the bearings look great. I mean, I don't think this motor had very many miles on it. So we're going to put a freshen up gasket kit in it, put it back together, and we're not going to use this in the wagon. We've decided we are going to put a 400 in it. So I am just figuring the cost of putting this engine together and not the cost of the 400 in my budget build, because we could have run this motor. Now everybody has their own way of doing that. I just use a big socket and it seems to work just fine. My dad always told me, if I was a kid, I remember, always put just a little silicone around the freeze plug when you put it in. And some people can say that's right, some people can say it's wrong, but my God, as long as I can remember, I don't remember my dad ever having to tear a motor down because the freeze plug was leaking. Alright, we're back on the 326 engine build. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because there is so many videos out there how to build a motor. But when you put the crank in, you have to put a rope seal in. And as you can see how hard this one is, and that's why it was leaking. But when you put the new seal in, the book, working on an old motor like this, sometimes it's hard to find the torque specs. Old Chilton's manuals are good if you don't have one and you can't find one. I believe the library carries them, and you can print off the torque specs and anything information you need, and don't really cost you nothing. But anyway, alright, so on this particular motor it says to pull it down to 90 pounds first pass, and I generally start in the middle and just work my way out. Now we're going to do 110, and I'm not going to bore you with me doing it, so I'll get it done. We have this torque down to 110, everything's good. You're going to find out sometimes it's a little tight because that rope seal in the back really is really tight, and sometimes you have to cheat. Probably should put the bolts in it, but I know it's not that stiff. But I'm just going to show you. Stick your bolts or screwdriver and just give it a little turn. And what I always do when I put it together, I'll start tightening them down. I'll tighten this one down to 90, rotate it, tighten the next one down to 90, rotate it, because you don't want it to bind. Because if it binds, that means you got something wrong. And like I said, this is not a rebuild. The rear main seal was leaking. I bought this motor. I've never heard it run. This one here, I've got a couple 326 here, but I've never heard this one run. So I know I was going to replace the oil pan gasket and the rear main seal. So I went ahead and tore it down, just checked everything out, make sure everything was like it should be. But when you go back together, even on a low budget system like this, I mean, this motor's probably going to run a long time and not be a problem. But go with some good gaskets like Velcro. They have a very nice Pontiac kit. I'm sure they have for other applications as well. I mean, it comes with about everything you possibly need. The other thing is, make sure you go with a good timing chain. And nobody sponsors me. Cloy's is just, I know that it's pretty good quality. Milling's oil pump. You hate to have this stuff fail, and with all the Chinese stuff and the cheap stuff out there, it'd be a real bad day. You put it in and the oil pump doesn't work right, and the timing gear 10,000 miles starts getting sloppy and starts giving you, or breaks. That could even be a problem. But parts you put in, make sure you put some decent parts. But like I said, the cylinders were good, the pistons were good, everything was good on this motor. I checked it for cracks in the block, looking for all the obvious stuff. Heads, I checked them out, make sure everything looked good. Really, the only thing I found was the rear main seal. So we're going to have fresh gaskets all across it, head gaskets, valve cover gaskets, water pump, all that housing new seal for this. I think we're going to be good. Well, let me stop this for a minute. Let me get some more together and we'll visit. I'm back with another tip. If you look on these pistons, you'll see a little cutout there. I guess you can see that. That always faces the front of the engine. And make sure when you take your pistons out that you put them back in the home, set them aside so they can go back in the same hole, unless you're going to bore it and new pistons, and then it won't make any difference. But if you're going to put everything back where it come from, make sure you get the pistons and you lay them out to come out. Same thing with the lifters. If you're going to reuse the cam, make sure you get the lifters for each hole they come out of so you can put them back in the same hole. The cam's already wore to that lifter, and if you do, you're going to cause cam problems down the road, and that's not what you want.
Well, there the timing set is in. Yeah, the motor's cocked a little bit of an angle, but it's on the stand. But see how tight that chain is? That's Cloy's. That's a good one. Cloy's makes a real good timing chain. Now let's go and look at one of the older ones in the junk pile over here. This is what you're trying to stay away from. See how floppy that is? And that's how they jump time. And then you're busting valves and all that good stuff, and it gets real ugly. But anyway, I'm real impressed with this gasket set. I'll zoom in on that a little bit. Yeah, you got early, late model intakes. You got your valve cover gasket. The rope seals for the old ones had rope. Rear main seals had rope in them. You got the late model oil pan seals. It's all extra I had. There's timing seal. All the water pump hardware, and there's oil pump housing, thermostat. I mean, the distributor kit comes with about anything you need. I'm very, very impressed with the kit. Well worth the money. Valve guide seals, a new style. And then somewhere up here, I saw here somewhere, is the old style, which are just right there, which are just nothing but O-rings. But those are the old style. And there's the oil pan front gasket. I'm pretty impressed. It's a nice kit. I'll zoom in on the part number one more time. If you're going to build one, that's the part number, and it's very good. It's Felpro. I'm very impressed with it. It's probably one of the better kits. Comes with all the instructions to tell you the difference between them and which one you should use. When I tear mine down, I try to leave all the gaskets. I clean parts as I put them back on, because sometimes you don't know if it had a gasket, what the gasket looked like, and it just makes it a whole lot easier. Oh, look, it's Cessna the shop dog. Come back to pay a visit. Anyway, that's what I got for now. We'll just continue putting this together. And there's one more departing fact that my wife just mentioned that I thought we ought to bring it up. We met Paul and them yesterday. Real good people. They're going to come down to Kansas City one day, I guess, and we're all going to go out and eat. But you'll find out when you start working on these cars, you meet a lot of people, you make a lot of friends, and then you go to the car shows and the swap meets, and you meet more people, and next thing you know, you have a whole bunch of friends you never knew you had. With that being said, enjoy it. 326, just about back together again. You've seen the overhaul, what we've done to it. I've got the prices, how many hours I have in it. When I get this all finished up, we'll tally it up and see where we're at. If you notice, hopefully the sound sounds a lot better. My wife broke down and bought us a new camera. It is kind of the neatest little thing you ever seen. Anyway, the other videos were so terrible, she's trying to go through them and they're a mess. But anyhow, I'm down to putting the fuel pump on, the starter, the distributor, and I'm going to put a piece of tape over the carburetor and then set the carburetor back on, because I don't know how long this motor is going to sit. Now, I went through and oiled everything. I even sprayed chain lube like you use on a motorcycle on the timing chain, just because this thing may set a year or two. I don't know. Don't really have nothing to put in it at the moment, but that could change tomorrow. With that being said, there it is. There's not much you guys can't do that I did here. It was pretty simple. Give me a second. We'll go over the parts I have left, the gasket sets. This gasket set is phenomenal. With any luck, I'll get the number again for you, but yeah, I'm very impressed. Isn't that the cutest little thing? The camera just follows you everywhere. That's just cool. All right. There is the part number. If you can't read it, it's FS8518PT Felpro. It's an amazing gasket. It does everything you want it to do. In fact, we'll go over the extra parts I have. We're going to get this thing off here and see if we can mess it up. Oh, she'll love it. I messed up her new camera. We're playing with it. Okay, I think we got it. This thing's just nifty. Okay, here's the gasket set. Here's what we have left. It's these are late model valve seals. These are for the other intake gaskets for the newer version. Newer style water pump gaskets, and pretty much all that is EGR and emission control. EGR gasket. Now, it does come with the rope seal on a 65. You have the rope, you got the rope seal that goes in the crank and the main, and then you have another rope seal that goes in the oil pan. Let's go over here and look at my cheat sheet. Okay, here's what I have left for gaskets still to use. This thing is just, there we go. I've got the fuel pump, thermostat housing gasket, and distributor gasket. And whether that is complete, the only thing that it did not have was carburetor gasket. But it could be a 2-barrel, it could be a Carter AFB, you could have a Quadrajet. I mean, good Lord knows it. It'd probably be almost impossible to get the right one in there.
But anyway, that's where we're at. Hopefully tomorrow we'll finish this video up on the engine because you only give me 15 minutes. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And we're just going to keep going. We don't have any sponsors on this. We're doing this all ourselves, which is fine. I like it better that way. But there she is. I'll see you when we get her all finished up. Welcome back. We're on the final build of this. I'm going to do a quick walk around and we'll go over some numbers. Okay, just for reference, there's all these numbers back here. If you can decipher them. Obviously, real quick, this was built on the night shift, and it breaks all the numbers down for you. You can go through and do it. It tells you the month, the week, all that good stuff, but it's back together. And if you really want to get, because the early models didn't have the size stamped on the side, but if you look, see right here, get down so I can see it, YN, and then it has 545711, it looks like. I believe that is the last of the VIN number on the car. That's when they talk about numbers matching. I believe this is early 65. I don't know how much of that stuff they changed on it, but on the later Pontiacs, down in here, they're marked 350, 400, whatever, 455, whatever it is. That's a quick way to tell. The earlier ones didn't do that. So anyway, so I'll tell you what, let me get this on the tripod. That's like it ought to work. New camera, still trying to figure it out. We're getting there though. I do like the camera. Okay, as far as parts goes, we got oil pump, we got paint, we got freeze plugs, timing set, which I use the Cloys, which is, use a decent timing set and a decent gasket set and a decent oil pump like a Millings. I like the Fel Pro gaskets. We already talked about that. I'm very, 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 very pleased with that gasket set. And I did buy a set of headers. To be honest with you, I give $200 for the headers. I got 2 sets. I don't know exactly which set's going to fit in this car, but I may be able to sell one of the other sets that I don't use and recoup some of this money back. I figured $50 in shop supplies. That's brake clean, cat litter, grease rags, whatever you need. It's hand cleaner, all that good stuff. And then when I bought the engine, I bought a complete engine, just basically like you see. That's not done for $400. So my total money investment in this engine, freshening it up in realistic prices, is $1,004. Engine hours, total engine hours from the time we put it on the engine stand to the time we took it apart, cleaned everything, put it back together. Of course, I had a little help, so I figured an hour or 2 for them. Because I can't, with my shoulder, I couldn't pick the heads up and get them back on, and they put the pistons in. I cleaned parts for a while. Nobody likes to clean parts. It's a nasty, dirty job, but it's got to be done. I got 12 hours in the motor. So $1,000, 12 hours, and should run and drive fine. Now keep in mind, there's videos out there, like I've said, that have where they totally tear them down and rebuild them. I did not rebuild this, I refreshed it. New gasket, so it didn't leak oil. Checked the rod and main bearings, they were all good. I didn't have to replace them. Rings looked good, didn't have to replace those. Did replace the oil pump because the old oil pump was 60 years old. Timing chain was loose, put a new one on, Cloys, that'll be good. And with the new gasket set, she should be still up tight. Now keep in mind, that price does not include oil, filter. It's probably gonna need a starter. That starter's probably pretty sad. It wouldn't hurt if I was gonna do this myself, put this in a car, I'd go and put new motor mounts on it. They're not very expensive for what they cost. So that's where we're at on it. Like I said, there's plenty of climber books. There's plenty of places you can find what you need to find on it. Also, don't be afraid to replace the rubber hoses from a bad day if it catches fire, because that is realistic. I have all the receipts to back up what I have. So there you are, and see you on the next video. Anyway, that's where we're at. That just gives you a ballpark idea, because when they tell you they can go through and buy brand new pistons and rods and get cylinders honed and bored and machine work done on the heads and all this good stuff, and they tell you they got $2,000 in it, they're blowing smoke.